Okay, so in this explainer, we're going to get into how a real adventure actually begins. We all have this idea that they start with some huge epic event. But the story we're breaking down today, well, it suggests it's usually something much quieter. Just a single, small moment that ends up changing everything.
So really, how do these stories get started? I want you to forget about the grand prophecies, the chosen ones, all that stuff for a minute. The story we're looking at today suggests a beginning that's way more grounded, and honestly, a lot more human.
Yeah, it's not about a glowing sword stuck in a stone or some desperate message from a king. The spark that lights this particular fire isn't big or flashy at all. It's something much, much smaller, and as you'll see, probably way more familiar.
The start of this whole thing, it really just boils down to these three elements. 4 people who don't know each other, 1 local troublemaker, and a single split-second decision. Let's dig into that. First up, let's meet the people at the very heart of this story. They've each shown up in this little town of Apfeldern for their own reasons, and they have absolutely no idea that their paths are about to cross in a big way.
So here's our cast of characters. We've got Okazaki, who's an ASMR samurai. Then there's Talonor, an elven ranger, complete with his wolf companion. We have Thane, an Air Genasi bard, and Cedric, a human druid. As you can tell, it's a pretty diverse bunch, and the most important thing to remember is that they're all on their own.
And this part is absolutely crucial. They weren't some pre-made team looking for a quest. They were all just lone travelers doing their own thing in Apfeldern. The idea of forming a group probably couldn't have been further from their minds.
So, we have our characters. Now, what about the conflict? Well, in a town as sleepy as Apfeldern, the problem isn't some great cosmic evil. It's something way more mundane, and frankly, a lot more annoying.
You get this beautiful picture of the town. It's the definition of a sleepy, idyllic little place. Somewhere that's just quiet and predictable. It's the kind of place where nothing remarkable is supposed to happen. And that piece is the perfect setting for the chaos that's about to kick off. And here he is, our antagonist. Not a dragon, not a dark lord, just a bully named Red. You know the type. The adults in town might just be annoyed by him, but for travelers and kids, his cruelty was a real problem. He's that little piece of grit in the gears that's about to make everything grind to a halt. And this brings us right to the turning point, a simple act of harassment that becomes the catalyst for everything that comes after. This is the exact moment where 4 totally separate lives start to bend towards each other. It's really as simple as this. After getting bothered himself, Okazaki sees Red and his goons turn on an elderly resident, and he just decides he's seen enough. He steps in. That's it. A line was crossed and a choice was made.
So the picture is pretty clear. It's one man against a whole group. Red isn't alone. He's got his crew with him. On paper, the odds are definitely not looking good for Okazaki.
So, yeah, he's clearly outnumbered, but is he outmatched? The story makes it very clear, absolutely not. This moment perfectly shows off Okazaki's quiet confidence. The numbers just don't tell the whole story here.
But this is the moment the whole dynamic of the story just flips. Okazaki isn't alone for very long. See, the other strangers, who've also had their own bad run-ins with Red, they're watching, and they too have to make a choice.
And what's so fascinating is how they all jump in. They don't have the same reason. Cedric, the druid, joins in, but he's hesitant. Thane, the bard, steps up with this sort of nervous bravado, and Talonor, the ranger, just acts with this cold, efficient certainty. 3 different people, 3 different motivations, all leading to the exact same action.
And the fight is over almost before it even begins. This is not some long, drawn-out battle. A single, perfectly aimed arrow from Talonor sends a very clear message. And the bullies, who really just relied on intimidation, well, their courage just shatters. They turn and they run.
So the immediate threat is gone, but what happens in the moments right after is what really starts to build this group. This is the shift from just a random team-up to something that feels more deliberate, something with real weight to it. It's this one line from Talonor that changes everything. This isn't finished. That's the moment of recognition. Just scaring the bullies off isn't a real solution. They've dealt with a symptom, sure, but the disease is still there. And right here, a shared purpose starts to take shape.
And let's be really clear about this. They are not friends yet. They aren't a team held together by loyalty. They're just 4 strangers, bound by circumstance, not trust. And why does that matter so much? Because it tells us that real alliances aren't just declared, they have to be built. Trust has to be earned one step at a time, which makes the bond so much stronger if it actually survives.
And this is the question we're left with. Dealing with a town bully is one thing, but you get this hint of a deeper rot waiting in the shadows, which suggests Red and his gang are just the surface of a much bigger problem. Their first unplanned step together has put them on a collision course with it. So what happens when four strangers, who are united only by a single choice, come face to face with the real darkness?